Okay, looks like we are live. Hopefully we are. Hello YouTube, my name is Garrett Robinson. Welcome to my show Vloganovel on my channel Vloganovel, where to the surprise of no one I vlog novels. This is the show where I live create books from beginning to end, everything from the cover design and creation process to writing the outline, writing the first draft, editing, formatting for publication, and making it available for sale everywhere books are sold, from Amazon to Kobo, Barnes & Noble, the iBook Store, Smashwords, and everywhere else. And today we are continuing the outlining process for Darkfire, the third book in my series, the Nightblade volumes. The first book in the Nightblade volumes is, of course, the volume Nightblade. The second one is this gorgeous thing right here, Mystic, which you can pick up signed copies of that, as well as all of my other print books in the description below this video. Otherwise, if you want to contribute to this YouTube channel or any of my other two YouTube channels, you can check the description below the video or click on the little I button here at the top right corner of the screen and donate a small one-time gift with fan funding, a YouTube feature that allows you to contribute to the YouTubers that you like most. Or you can also become a patron at patreon.com, where for a small monthly donation you get all kinds of exclusive behind-the-scenes photos, perks, messages, all kinds of extra cool stuff. One of these days, very soon, I'm going to be sending my patrons a map from the Nightblade universe. In other words, my map in progress. It's not professional yet. It's not ready to go in the book itself. I'm going to have it done up by a professional cartographer at some point. But if you are a patron, you will get a map of the world so that you can track the progress of Lauren and her friends as they run about, I guess. So, all of that being said, we are continuing the outlining process. So for those who are not necessarily caught up on where we're at, we have been working on the outline for the entire book, and we have finished that outline. The book's plot is outlined. Right now, we are going through each character and each moment in the book, and we're evaluating what that moment is going to mean to that character. In other words, we are doing our character work now. We are saying, how would this person react in there? How does that change the story? Because we sort of know where things need to go, and we've planned all the steps to get there. Now we need to look at our characters and see how are they going to change that. We do it in this order because, as I discussed near the end of the last show, you could build your characters first and work on them, and then try and create the plot from there. I find it more helpful personally to lay down the plot as a groundwork, and then to evaluate it against your characters, and let the characters shape the plot, instead of the other way, which I feel lets the plot shape your characters. And your characters are the most important thing. So that's what we're doing, and we are in these beats. I have split my screen here. You will have noticed the bottom screen is Lauren's notes for Darkfire. It's everything that she goes through during the course of Darkfire, her personally as a character. This is the entire story told from Lauren's point of view, and that's this document down here. Lauren, Darkfire, sub-document Darkfire here. And then in this top window, this is the book outline. This is everything from chapter 1 of episode 1, so on and so forth. And then we are in chapter 3 of the first episode, and we are evaluating the whole storyline against Lauren. Then we're going to do the same thing for Jordell. Then we're going to do the same thing for Jem. And then we're going to do the same thing for probably Alburn, who's not in the entire book, but for most of it. And Zane, who has a more minor role in this book. And Damaris Yaren, who is Annis's mother. And Damaris is a fairly major character, but she only shows up about 2/3 of the way through the book. She was a major character in the first book in the series. So we will evaluate it with all three of those more minor characters at the same time. How does this scene affect them one after the other? You know, technically, there's no reason we couldn't do that with the main characters, too. I think it might let them play off of each other more. Well, let's do that. I like that idea, actually. So for each character, we have these character sheets here. And they have notes, and they have... Most of them have... Where are my pictures? Here they are. So most of them have pictures of the characters, of actors that I have not in mind to play the character, you understand, but that give me a groundwork to work on the character. And for each of these, we have turned that character sheet into a folder, and below and within the folder, we have a separate document for each book in the series. Now, I only came up with that idea this time, so now we will have new documents for each character for each new book, and each character has a separate document for Darkfire that covers their story in this book specifically. Sorry, this is admin work, and I know it's probably not tremendously riveting to watch. But we gotta do what we gotta do. Okay, so let's start back at the beginning. Up here in the top window, we will start back at episode 1 with chapter 1. And we'll go down each character, and we'll see how they change and affect that chapter and the scenes within it. Now, we've already done this with Lauren, but we'll just review. I might only be... no, that's fine. Never mind. Never mind, I said nothing. Nothing. Oh, Bren. Hi, Bren. Good to see you. Welcome to the comment section of the video. Bren, in the snowflake method, there's a portion where you take each of your characters and you break their story down. You start with a one-sentence description of their arc through the series, and then you break it down, I'm kind of doing that. Basically, I'm going through each scene of the book, and I'm evaluating it against each character. And in that character's own document for the book, I'm writing down the scenes in the sequence that they're happening and what's going on with the character during that time. I'm doing it with the most main characters and then a couple of the minor ones. Not every single one of them, but I am doing it with Lauren, who is the main character, Jordell, who is probably the second most important character in this book. Last book it was Zane. Zane was the second most important character. This book it's Jordell, and then I'm doing it with Annis and Jem, who are Lauren's little sidekicks. I'm gonna have to make this a 45-minute show, guys. You're not badgering me, Brent. I love getting questions and giving my viewpoint. It also often helps me clarify my thoughts. So seriously, don't worry about it. That's why I do this. Okay, it's 5:15. I gotta call it. So this has been a Vloganovel. I know it hasn't been a whole lot of talking and interaction. That's just because I'm working through these scenes. But we're a couple chapters in. We've evaluated across all the characters, and now that I know what I'm doing, I'm sure the rest of the book will progress much more quickly. Hopefully, I'm going to start putting in a second hour of Vloganovel a day, so I'll be doing one later tonight. So, you know, drop by the channel, follow me on Twitter. I always tweet when I'm doing a show. So we'll be doing 2 hours of Vloganovel a day. I want to finish the outline by the end of the week and start writing by the weekend. I have a goal in the not too distant future to be pumping out at least 10,000 words on the Nightblade series a week. Sorry, at least 20,000 is what I meant to say. At least 20,000 words on the Nightblade series a week, which will build me books in advance. I want to have books in the queue waiting to be published rather than what I have now, which is that I'm constantly struggling to write the next book and get it ready for publication. But in order to do that, I'm going to need to put in at least 2 hours of work a day on Nightblade specifically, in addition to all the other things that I have to do, the books that I'm writing with Sean Platt, etc., etc. Speaking of which, I've written over 12,000 words today for the current book that I'm writing with Sean Platt, which is, I'm proud of that. It's pretty awesome. So that will be it for this episode. We will carry on with the outlining process later tonight, probably at around 9 p.m. Pacific time, or your regional equivalent, and we'll carry on from there. Once again, you can find links to all of my books in the description of this video. If you wish to support the YouTube channels directly, there is a link in the description to do that, as well as this little I button on the top right corner of the YouTube video, which you can click in order to give a small one-time gift with fan funding, or to become a patron on patreon.com. If you become a patron, you get exclusive behind-the-scenes videos. You're going to get a map of the 9 Kingdoms, the story world of Nightblade, very, very soon. And if you become a patron for $5 a month, you get every book that I publish for free, including this one. Not for free, for your $5 a month patronage, which I very much appreciate. So, once again, thank you so much for tuning in and watching the show. Bren left one last amazing comment, which I'm going to read. She, I actually don't know, said, "You should wear little round glasses so that you can clean them every time you drop knowledge on someone." It's a great idea. Somebody get me round glasses for Christmas. I want them. I want them badly. Okay, thanks very much for tuning in and watching. I will see you on the next episode of Vloganovel. Bye!